This is my first ever episode, and I'm super excited to be doing this with all of you. So, a little bit about Sunday Spills, right? I'm sure a lot of you that came to this page probably found it just because you're looking for a good time or just to kind of get away from all the internet craziness of the world. So, really, this is kind of like my safe space. It's kind of like my Pinterest board. I really enjoy just creating things just to create them. Every week, I'm kind of just going to talk about other topics. I'm just going to talk about things that are on my mind, things that I've been experiencing, and I feel like you're going to get to know me a little bit more after each episode. So make sure to come back every week for a little bit of a Sunday spill. I know usually things are Sunday scaries, and so I'm really trying to reframe that to make it more of a calm and relaxing place instead of something to be scared of for Monday, but really to reset for the week and make sure that you're ready to go. So, this week is a little bit of a welcome and why I started Sunday Spills. So, Sunday Spills started way back when I was in college. Really wasn't too long ago, but um, basically, what it was I posted something on my Instagram story of my blank journal, and I had written in the text of just some thoughts for the week, right? Of things that I was going through. And at this time, I was a junior in college. So, there's a lot of things happening in my life. I was in an internship, I was working a few jobs. I had a lot going on for myself, right? I was trying to think of my life purpose, right? Of things that were happening. So I just put it on my story because I was like, what everyone does, right? They share things on their Instagram story. So I was like, okay, cool. And I got a lot of people that liked it and were really like, wow, like you should do this more, you should write more. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I kind of like writing. It's really fun. Um, I journal a lot. I journaled every day back then. I still journal, just probably not as much anymore. I probably should get back on that. But, it was just, people actually wanted to see something that I was creating. And that was the first time that I kind of felt seen and the first time that I was kind of like, okay, like I think this is something that I could do. So, flash forward, I was like, man, I should really like use my degree for something. And so I started doing a blog at first, and I created my own website. I basically went on there, I designed it. It was super fun. It was a lot of work, and I was kind of like, this thing wasn't the intent wasn't to make money. The intent wasn't to be an influencer or anything like that at all. It was actually just to really just create and just put something out into the world. And so every week I would write a blog post. I would come back from my classes, sit down, write the blog post, schedule it for Sunday, and then post it on my Instagram and be like, hey, whoever wants to know about whatever what I'm going through this week, right? Like sometimes it was advice, sometimes it was things I've gone through, sometimes it was my childhood experiences. And it was just a really mishmashed, array of things, but I loved it. And it was so fun just to create something and have people read it. And at first, like, no one really read it. Like, I could see the views and no one really read it, but I didn't really care. I was just putting something out there to create something, trying to get more in touch with my feminine side and my feminine energy because I feel like when I write and when I do those kind of feminine things, it really helps with that. So, anyway, I started out by just typing it out, and this website took forever to design. I'm not a web designer. I don't coin myself as a creative in that sense. So it was kind of hard for me to like visualize these things and be like, okay, what exactly am I doing here? Um, so anyway, after that, I just consistently posted. I consistently posted for about 2 years. I did it from my junior year to my senior year after I graduated college. And it kind of has my whole journey on there from when I started as a junior in college and then when I graduated, and you could see all these like ups and downs that I was going through. And I was going through a lot at that time, trying to find a job post grad, trying to find, relationships and how do friendships work, and just moving out on my own and having my own place. That was a lot. And I didn't realize it, but people were reading and people actually resonated with this. And at first I thought, I'll be honest, like I thought it was kind of cringe. I was like, this is low-key cringe. Like no one's gonna read this. Everyone's gonna think I'm weird after this. No one's gonna wanna follow me. But people liked it so much that I actually ended up creating a whole separate Instagram account for it. And I would post on there every Sunday. And I was like really making this thing a brand. And it was really cool. I was like, okay, maybe I can do something with this. And then I graduated, and honestly, it just kind of fell off. It just, life gets in the way. You start doing other things. And I put the creativity, the first thing usually goes is the creativity, right? And so I just put my creative stuff aside and I was like, I am not going to do this anymore, right? So it was really hard to let go of that, to let go of my blog and everything I'd built, even though it wasn't a bunch of people, like it wasn't like thousands and thousands of subscribers or thousands of people following me. People were watching and they were listening. And that was something that I was really, really into. And it was just a community and somewhere where I could like let myself just be free for at least an hour or something like that of the week. And that really helped. I realized that helped a lot with my mental health. That helped a lot with just navigating life. And, especially when I had moved out on my own and not having anyone, no one in my family was with me. No, I didn't have a partner or anything like that. So it was really hard. And I felt like that was the only thing that really kept me grounded. Fast forward to now, the reason why I want to restart this brand again is because I realized I have not been doing things for myself and I haven't been doing things creatively in a while. And I realized that as much as I love a blog, I love to read as much as the next person. But people like to watch videos more, and I feel like YouTube is a perfect place for me to kind of just like break out into it because I don't really want to be on Instagram anymore. I don't really want to be on TikTok. I don't resonate with those. And honestly, my mental health, I realize, goes way down, which maybe some of you can relate. And it's a lot for me. I think it's overwhelming. I'm also in a master's program, which of course I will talk about on a later episode. But this is just more of like a safe space for me. I feel like YouTube, I've never had a presence on it. And so this is like a good way to just have a fresh start. And absolutely love it. I think so far I really want to just be able to connect with others, but also just connect back with myself. And I think that's something that a lot of people are missing nowadays is just this whole social media world, which don't get me wrong, it's a great way to connect with others, but also you can lose yourself really quickly. And I found myself doing that a lot, which I can probably touch on in another episode of, when I was an influencer, when I was really trying to be that micro influencer, and I was for a little bit. But now I'm kind of just like, okay, I just kind of want to come on here, talk about what I want, just be like really feminine, be really, this is for the girls, this is for anyone, but really it's just like for me to reconnect with myself. And it doesn't really matter if no one watches this because at the end of the day, I'm doing it for myself. And I think it's awesome and it's really fun. So it's a little bit of the background on that. I guess the reason why I even started the blog in the first place, I started journaling, is I've had a journal since I was literally 12 years old. So you can literally see my life from like middle school all the way up until, right now, in my mid 20s. And you can see all these things that I've gone through, all the ways that it's like, wow, I really thought that was important when I was 12, but it was. That was like my world, It was like, I can't get a cell phone or I only have an iPod or something like that, right? Whereas now it's like, let me pay rent. And I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. And I just was always so nervous of putting myself out there, putting my art out there, putting my creations out there that it really held me back. And I really think that this is just a good time for me to, share my experiences. I have a lot of unique experiences that I think people are going to really want to hear about. And everyone always tells me, oh, Haley, you should like really share about what, you have and things like that. But I was always like, no, no one's going to care. No one's going to listen. No one's going to watch. And honestly, it doesn't really matter if anyone cares or watches. All it matters is that I want to watch it and that I care about it. And if I put it content out there that's genuinely, me, then I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I love this brand I've created. I love the way that it helps ground me. And I think that yeah, this is just something that I want to start. And I really hope that you'll join me next week for more talks on Sunday Spills. But this is the first ever episode. So thank you so much for joining and watching. And I cannot wait to see where this will go. Bye.